The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Leaders of political parties in the lower house called out former President Rodrigo Duterte for maligning their institution and threatening to kill one of their colleagues. In a statement, they urged the former president to avoid making threats or insinuating harm against lawmakers or the House of Representatives as a whole. In an interview with the SMNI, Duterte threatened ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro, who has been a vocal critic of the confidential funds being sought by his daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte. The former president defended Sara's request for secret funds and went as far as to red tag representatives, mainly Castro. House party leaders also defended the decision to realign the confidential funds of civilian agencies towards offices dealing with national security. They said this is for the benefit of the nation and not as a personal affront to anyone, including VP Sara. House party leaders also told the former president to present evidence of wrongdoings instead of making sweeping allegations in the media. This is in response to Duterte's claim of pork barrel funds still existing in the lower house. Meanwhile, sugar farmers are blaming overimportation and abusive bidding practices for their low sales. Producers say that the oversupply forces them to sell sugar at a lower price, which cuts down on their profit and even leaves some farmers at break-even. Groups also argue that the bidding process for selling their produce appears rigged.
But right now, we are affected somewhat by the lot of imported refined, which are being sold at prices which are lower than even the cost of the raw. We should really calibrate the importation that we have to do so that hindi tayo ma-overstock tayo.
In response, the Sugar Regulatory Administration or SRA is looking into possible price manipulation and will inspect sugar warehouses for hoarded supply. Aside from this, the SRA has ordered to hold the release of 150,000 metric tons of imported sugar in a bid to stabilize prices. But the agency admits that other than implementing those measures, it has no power over sugar prices.
What SRA is doing is we are allowed to provide the farmers with assistance and extension with regards to equipment, fertilizer, higher yielding varieties, new varieties of sugarcane. Doon allowed kami. But when it comes to marketing, we are not allowed, where our hands are tied.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Israel continues to bombard the Gaza Strip with airstrikes as the war with Hamas continues in day 8. Aerial footage shows left and right rockets fired towards Gaza, destroying entire buildings which Israel says are being used by Hamas. Now, over 1 million Palestinians in northern Gaza faced a 24-hour notice from Israel to flee south before an expected ground offensive. Gaza authorities report that nearly 2,000 people have died from the ongoing conflict. Muslims in New York have denounced Israel's attacks on Gaza, which they described as violations to human rights. The details in this report by the Associated Press.
I'm very sad about what's going there in Palestine. If you watch the news, they are leveling Gaza. Till now, at least 1,500 people got killed. More than 500 of them children, more than 400 of them women. So to see this, it's very hard. It's not easy for me as a Muslim, as a Palestinian. They spend billions of dollars to help the Ukrainian to fight the Russian because they are occupied. And at the same time, they are spending billions of dollars helping the Israeli to keep the occupation of the Palestinian. Is this not double standard? It's a crime when an Israeli got killed, but it's okay to kill 1,000 Palestinians? Are we subhuman? Are we animals? Don't we have rights? You cannot do anything here. The only thing we can do, pray, go to the mosque and pray, ask God to help our brothers in Palestine. The other thing, to talk to media, to go do demonstrations, and all of these things, honest, doesn't help our brothers in Palestine. They need water, they need food, they need medicine, they need electricity. Here's across the street is my neighbor, is a Jewish guy. His customers, 95 of his customers are Muslims. The synagogue has been there for a long time. We have a very good relation with them. When we deal with somebody, we not ask about his religion or his color.
وما نسمعه من هذه الأمور المتصاعدة ولكننا نريد أن يكون حديثنا مركزا القضية الكبرى والأساس لكافة القضايا القائمة. لو نظرنا إلى كافة المعطيات التي
I pray for peace. I pray for the people dying. I imagine if your kids like that be knocked down, all the land, all the houses. So when somebody attack my country where I live, doesn't matter what my nationality.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.